I learned sales, then made Iman Gadzhi Millions. Plus Alex Hormozi as well, but you may not know who I am. My name is Alex Beck. I have been in the online remote sales space for the past 4 years. I got my start by working for Alex Hormozi at Gym Launch, crushed it there, then transitioned to working for Iman Gadzhi. With Iman, I am quite literally the highest cash collected sales rep of all time, which is somewhat cool. But what I'm gonna do in this video is show you a sales call recording, a deal that I closed for Iman 2 years ago. And if you want to gain the most out of this call, all you need to do is listen to the live feedback that I give myself throughout the entire call. Number 2, if you make it to the end, I am gonna give you a sales training that my sales mentor gave me that, quite frankly, I wish I had 4 years ago. But this is a call that I reference quite frequently in my sales community, and reason being, obviously the more you do something, the better you get with it, and the sales framework that you are about to see literally helped me close $2 million per year for Iman. But looking back at it now, there is so many things that I would have done differently with this call because I received just about every single objection in the book that I still overcame. But hopefully this helps. Let's jump into the video. All right, now let's get to the good stuff. So this sales call recording that you are about to see is a close call of a deal that I closed for Iman Gadzhi back in 2023. So it's been some time, and what I will say with that, at this point, I reviewed thousands of sales calls of not only my own, but mainly of other sales reps that I'm working with across every industry, from B2C sales to B2B sales. And whenever I review a call, there is 3 things that I look for in the first 5 minutes of the conversation that lets me know, are you having a good call or are you having a bad call? So if you are in sales, if you're a closer, a setter, if you plan to be in sales, if you're a sales manager or business owner with the sales team beneath you, write these 3 things down. That way, whenever you review a call, you understand in the first 5 minutes, are you having a good call or are you having a bad call, regardless of the industry. Now, what are those 3 things? If you know where I got this from, comment it below. I'm curious if you know. But number 1 is, are you as sharp as a tack? Okay, now all that means is, are you showing up fully present with the conversation, but also showing up the best version of yourself on the sales call? So number 1, sharp as a tack. Number 2, are you enthusiastic as hell? Now, a lot of people do misconstrue what enthusiastic as hell means. What it does not mean is that you are showing up overly excited with the conversation or pretending to be somebody that you're not. It does not mean that you need to pretend to be some extrovert, right? If anything, myself, I'd say I'm more on the introverted side of things. But all enthusiastic as hell means, can we clearly tell that you want to have the conversation with the prospect? Do you give a shit? That is it. Number 2, enthusiastic as hell. Number 3, are you an expert in the field that you're selling? Now, the way that you show your expertise, it's super simple. It's by asking really good pointed questions. For example, if you're selling a B2B lead gen offer, hey, maybe it's smart that we ask great questions about how a company is currently generating leads. Okay, if you're selling a real estate offer, maybe it's a good idea to ask great questions about real estate. If you are like me, and on this video, I am selling a offer that helps someone start or scale their agency past 10K per month, it might be a good idea if I ask good questions about the agency. Right now, let's watch this together in the first 5 minutes. Do this with me. Let's see if I check off the first 3 boxes in the first 5 minutes of this call. Number 1, sharp as a tack. Number 2, enthusiastic as hell. Number 3, expert in the field that I'm selling. Let's do it.
Hello.
Alex.
Ali, what's up, brother?
What's up, man?
Nice to meet you.
Yes, nice to meet you too.
Cool, bro. Where you calling from today?
Sorry?
Where are you calling from, bro? Where are you from? Where you live?
I'm now inside of my car. I was stuck in traffic.
Okay.
I have always my laptop with me, so I thought I found a nice place here in the nature. So I'm ready for the call.
Okay. Awesome, brother. Where are you from in general? Like, where do you live?
I live in Amsterdam.
Okay.
But originally I'm from Afghanistan.
Oh, wow. Okay. So when did you move to Amsterdam?
Oh, when I was young. I'm now 21, and when I was like 3.
All right, so we are 58 seconds in. In your opinion, have I checked off any of the boxes with this conversation? My answer is yes, I've checked off the first 2 boxes. Sharp as attack, you could clearly tell that I'm fully present with the conversation. Also showed up my best version of myself on the call. I'm locked in. I'm in pocket, right? Now, number 2, enthusiastic as hell. Can you tell that I give a shit and I want to have the conversation with the prospect? Yes, I'm engaging with him. I'm curious about where he's from. When did he move to Amsterdam? And you could tell that I want to be there. So the first 2 boxes are checked off. Now, what I want you to see is the way that I check off box number 3, because I do it a bit differently. That places you as an expert in the first 2 minutes of the call.
They came to Amsterdam, so I basically grew up here.
Do you ever get to visit back home at all? Is that something you do?
You know, the last time I visited Afghanistan was like in 2016, 15, when the situation was a little bit calmer.
Yeah.
But after that, yeah, I still got family in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if I want to visit it now. Maybe if the situation gets a little bit more calm.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat, bro. My family's all from way farther from you, but from Mexico. I live in California, so most of my family lives over there. But same thing with like, for us, it's less war, more like drug cartel type issues. But same thing, I'm like, fuck, I don't want to go back, you know?
Hey, shout out to Mexico. So quick side note, and you guys will see how I place myself as an expert right after this, but a couple things. I've said bro a couple times. I also dropped an F-bomb. You may be watching this and think, Alex, that's extremely unprofessional. My rebuttal to you is that you need to understand who you're selling to and what those avatars are, right? When I was selling for Gym Launch, which is a B2B offer for gym owners, I was speaking with 40 or 50-year-old gym owners. So obviously speaking this way wouldn't slide with them, but it also didn't relate with the way that they spoke. Right? Versus when I came to Iman's team, within the first month, I realized I'm speaking to people just like me. They are 20 to 35 years old. Rarely are they older. Therefore, I could speak in a way that's more authentic to me, but also a way that will make them more comfortable with the conversation. Now, really quick, and remember, I am going to show you how I place myself as an expert right now, but this is super important. This is the one call close framework. Okay, so I am going to include this in the training for you, which I'll touch on at the end of this video, the training that my sales mentor gave me a couple years ago. But this is, like I said, the one call close framework. And the more you do sales, it becomes a puzzle piece in your head. You're about to see me follow this puzzle piece. Technically, there are 5 sections to a sales call. I split it up into 6. Usually pitching and closing is together on a call. But what you're seeing now is me in section 1, intro and rapport. I'm doing pleasantries. Then I will ask about the pre-call preparation video, then move to setting frame and agenda of the call.
So haven't visited in a while. So
When is the last time you've been to Mexico?
Probably like 5 years ago, bro. So probably like right before COVID. So like 2018, 2019 type of thing. Yeah. But cool, man. We have about 27 minutes here. Do you mind if we kind of hop to like
sure.
call? Okay, cool. I know you spoke with Jack, by the way. Did you happen to check out that video that we sent over to you, the one with Iman?
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay, cool. It's like 35 minutes long. He's wearing the turtleneck, the glasses.
Yeah, I had to watch it in like 1.5 speed, otherwise.
It is a little long. I know, it is a little long. So, but cool, bro. Let me know.
So the way I set frame, which is about to come up, is how I place my expertise in the field within the first 2 minutes of the call. One thing that popped in my mind right now, I remember my sales mentor told me this. He was reviewing a sales call of mine a couple years ago, and it was a deal that I didn't close, and he watched the first 5 to 10 minutes, he paused it, and he said, "Alex, you're being too fucking nice." I was like, what do you mean? Like, man, people won't buy from you because you're a nice guy. People will buy from you because they respect you, they respect what you say, and they see you as an expert in what it is that you're selling. That popped in my mind right now because I think it's good to have a balance, but your job as a sales rep is to lead someone to make a decision. It's to help them uncover the goals that they may not even know that they have, or the pain points that they have in their business or in their life, right? And so you have to be able to snap back in a pocket. It's a fine balance where, yes, it's good to be conversational and nice at the top of the call, but at times you have to be ready to challenge prospects, challenge your beliefs, get them to make commitments that they've never made before. And you will get a hell of a lot further by being respected on sales calls than you will will ever get by being the nice, cool guy. Oh, number 2, pre-call videos. If you have a pre-call video as a sales rep, make sure that they watched it. If you're a business owner and you don't have a pre-call video, make one, okay? Pre-call videos are super important. The reason why they have them is so that they could give prospects a visual representation and answer a lot of questions that they have of what they're about to buy before they get on with you. The last thing you want to happen is to get to the end of the call, you pitch the product, you drop the price, and they say, Alex, this sounds great. It sounds like what I'm looking for based off your words, but I don't even know what this looks like. So, could you send me more stuff? Could I think about it? Could you send me testimonials and so forth? That is why you have that pre-call prep video. And the reason why I'm so big on asking if they watched it now is because I've gotten to the end of the calls and that's happened where people don't close because they're just going based off my words. So pre-call prep video, always check in if they watched it. If you don't have one as a business owner, create one.
Your goal outcome or your goal for this call, just so I could talk about the right things and push us in the right direction.
Like a year ago, I wanted to start an online business. I worked a lot since I was like 15 physically, doing all kinds of jobs. But I knew there was an opportunity for online business, and I kind of missed out on drop shipping when it was like hot in 2018-19.
Yeah.
There was a guy who sold a course in Holland, and I thought, yeah, scam, or just didn't do it. And then after that, I regretted it. Now I'm currently drop shipping, and it's doing okay. But that proved me that there is a way for like online,
100%.
online. And I had for myself, like, in the worst case scenario, if drop shipping doesn't work, I still got the knowledge of making ad campaigns and doing social media. So if it don't work out, my plan B was like starting a agency, social media agency.
Okay.
And but now I still had it in the back of my mind to start an agency, because I do have the knowledge for like doing campaigns for other companies, but I didn't want to do it like go in and like in the video they said spending 3-5 years and spending a lot of money.
So he literally just referenced the pre-call prep video, right? He said, I want to start an agency, but just like the pre-call video said, I could spend 3 to 5 years figuring out this on my own, or I could hop in here with Iman's team where they'll shortcut the process for me, right? So that should give you a perfect example of why that pre-call prep video warms up the lead to jump on a call with me where I could close in within 30 to 45 minutes. Now, there's a couple red flags that just came up with what he said. The question that I asked was, hey, what was your motivation for booking the call, essentially? What were you looking to gain out of the conversation? Whether you're selling to cold leads or selling to warm leads or hot leads, you should always ask that question, right? What were you looking to gain out of the conversation today? And there's 2 things that they could say. Either, hey, Alex, I'm actually looking for help with X thing, which is what we want to hear, which is essentially what he said. Or number 2 is they could window shop and say, I'm just here for some more information. We do not want window shoppers on the call. Window shoppers don't buy. People who need help and have pain points do. So if Ali, for example, said, hey, Alex, yeah, what I'm looking to gain out of the call is just get some more information. I saw what Iman's doing and it looks pretty cool. It is my job to reframe his mind from he is here for more information to he is here because he needs help with X thing. So it's super simple to do that. I could guarantee if you're a salesperson, you could let me know. Probably if you ask this question, 60 to 70% of your leads will say, hey, I'm just here for more information. So all you need to do is follow up and say this. Hey, Ali, 100% man, I'm sure you've seen, we have a website. You could have gotten a ton of information off of there. I really doubt you're jumping on calls for 45 minutes every day and just giving valuable time away. What were you looking for help for when it comes to X thing? That's it. they will say right away, yeah, you're right. Actually, I'm looking for help with starting an agency. It looks cool. Or I'm running an agency now. It's doing about 10K a month. I want to get it to 50. And it starts pushing them down that straight line of the sell. So that's one thing. Number two, he gave a red flag. I am selling something. You start or scale the agency. And what did he tell me that he's doing right now? He's doing drop shipping. He was doing e-commerce. That is a separate business model. So what's coming to my mind right now is I need to get this guy to sell himself on why he wants to start an agency and pivot business models, or else it'll bite me in the ass at the end of the call. A lot of what you're doing as a sales rep is squashing bugs, killing ghosts. You're killing ghosts throughout the conversation. That way the ghost doesn't come up at the end of the call and attack you. And that's a ghost that could bite my ass. Last thing I want is to get to the end of the conversation and hear, listen, Alex, this sounds cool, very expensive. I think I'm just going to march forward with e-commerce for now. Let me give it another year and I'll come back to this at a future time, right? So number one, you haven't even seen how I'm going to show expertise. I'm about to do that right now when I set frame, but you'll also see in discovery about 2 minutes from now in the conversation, how I get this guy to sell himself down the path of starting an agency.
Just to be there.
Okay.
Start an agency. So
Okay.
I thought, let's see what you guys can offer and
Yeah, bro.
start with a good base.
Yeah, we'll talk about it, bro. I mean, just so you know, I've done these calls a bunch of times here. So the main purpose of them really is just to learn a little more about you and then see where you plan on taking things with your actual agency in specific, whether you have one now or not. So hopefully Jack did tell you as well. I am one of the coaches here for Agency Navigator. So the game plan for me is just to give you some action steps. That way, after this call, you could start getting your agency up and running. In the same breath, if I do feel like the action steps are just going to be too broad and not going to help out a ton, I may tie in Agency Navigator as well and just let you know how we could help you with that, answer the questions that you have, and then pretty much just go from there. Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right. Cool, man.
There you go. That was it. That was setting frame, which is what you're looking at here. One thing I will say that was good about that, it was conversational. At this point, I call it conversational closing. It's a big thing that I talk about with all the sales reps that I'm working with. It's 2025 now, you guys. You want your sales calls to be as conversational as possible while still having that authority frame, while still showing your expertise, right? People love buying shit. They hate being sold to. Chances are on your next sales call, that person has bought something in the past, and the red flags will raise up if they start smelling the sale. So I can't tell you how many times I've gotten to the end of the calls and someone swipes their card, they pay for something, and they say, by the way, are you a sales guy? And I'm like, no, I'm just, on the team here and help out with onboarding and so forth. And that's what you want, right? You want it to be an authentic conversation, conversational closing. Now, back to my point, setting frame, let's rewind it one more time and pinpoint how I frame myself as an expert.
Yeah, bro.
Start with a good base.
Yeah, we'll talk about it, bro. I mean, just so you know, I've done these calls a bunch of times here. So the main purpose of them really is just to learn a little more about you and then see where you plan on taking things with your actual agency in specific, whether you have one now or not. So hopefully Jack did tell you as well. I am one of the coaches here for Agency Navigator. So the game plan for me.
There it is, right? So I did two things. One, I told him I've done these calls millions of times. But number two, I'm actually one of the coaches here on the team. Basically, hey, I know what the hell I'm talking about, right? So feel at ease. That is what people want when they come onto sales calls. Leave a relation to me, right? At this point, I'm running a business. I do sales consulting. I help, sales reps make a fuck ton more money, land better roles, top 1% sales offers. I've gone on sales calls to buy stuff because I need help a lot as of recently, right? And it always puts me at ease when I'm on a call where I feel like the guy knows more than me about the thing I'm about to buy. That is who I want to buy from. And that is who your prospects want to buy from as well. So I call that the expert frame. Add that into your sales calls. You've done these calls thousands of times. You know what you're talking about. Rest assured, and then set the rest of your frame.
Just to give you some action steps. That way, after this call, you could start getting your agency up and running. In the same breath, if I do feel like the action steps are just going to be too broad and not going to help out a ton, I may tie in Agency Navigator as well and just let you know how we could help you with that, answer the questions that you have, and then pretty much just go from there. Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Cool, man.
So now I'm about to go into discovery. You're about to see right now how I get this guy to sell himself down the path of, hey, this is why I'm committed to now switching business models and starting an agency. But one thing I do want to do is show you the discovery framework here, right? So this is the path that you're about to see me go down. And more importantly, this is what I want to show you. You guys, this is called the roller coaster analogy. And this is for the discovery section of your call. If you see anyone else with this damn graph or talking about the roller coaster analogy, they took it from me. Okay, so let me know. But I'll start with this. When I was working at Gym Launch, this is how they taught me to have a discovery conversation. And this is how 99% of sales trainers will teach you to ask questions in discovery. This is the way they want you to follow. You start with your introduction, the overview. Hey, why are we here? What was motivation for booking the call? Then you talk about their current state and struggles. What are they struggling with? X, Y, Z. And then they want you to end the conversation with their future state and goals. And then from there, pitch your product as your solution. Now, why is this wrong? Let me give you an example. Okay, let's say this is probably the best example to give. Let's say you're selling a fitness offer where you're helping people lose weight and get to their dream body, right? With Gym Launch's style, food for thought fitness offers are probably notorious for having prospects that cry on the sales call when they talk about their current stage struggles, right? Think about it. They may be 100 pounds overweight. You know, their wife might be leaving them. Their husband might be leaving them. They can't run with their kids and so forth. So notorious for criers. With Gym Launch's method, you are asking about their current state and struggles at the top of the discovery conversation. You are going to get those tears at the front of the call. And then from there, you will tell them, hey, wipe those tears, but where do you want to go? What's your goal? What's your dream body? And you're ending the conversation with them at a heightened sense of emotion of their dream outcome, and then you're trying to pitch them your product. Now let's look at the roller coaster analogy. If we flip it, okay, let's start the conversation, yes, with the introduction. Why are we here? But instead, let's take them to that heightened sense of emotion right away. Where do we want to go? What is your goal? What is your dream outcome? Exactly what you're looking at here. And let's end the conversation with them at those tiers. What are you struggling with? How much are you weighing now? God, how long have you been trying to lose 100 pounds? Essentially, let's end the conversation with them crying at the end of the call. That way, instead of saying, hey, wipe your tears, what are your goals? You're saying, hey, wipe your tears. I know if you're in a tough spot, but we're 100% going to be able to help you. Do you mind if I break down how exactly we'll do that? And they're wiping their tears away as you're pitching your product as the solution that's going to bring them back to that heightened sense of emotion. Then they buy. Let me know if that makes sense in the comments below. You guys making this shift, which was about a year ago, literally doubled my close rate for a real estate offer that I was on. Right? I was speaking with a lot of high-level acumen buyers that had a lot of money. Making this flip to how I ask questions in discovery literally increased my close rate. I want to say double, but it was probably more, I think it raised it from like 35 to a little over 60%, which is huge. That's almost doubling your income, right? And I know if you implement this, it'll do the same for you. See if you could pinpoint how I get him to sell himself on his agency.
Let's do it. So starting off, why don't you give me a breakdown? I know this is an idea for you, but where are you at with the agency as of now? Have you started building anything out for it? Do you have a niche selected? What does that look like? And I think you froze.
Overview or intro/overview.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah.
You're back. Cool, bro. I was asking, what was I asking? Okay. I was asking where are you at with the agency, bro? Is this from scratch? Have you started building out the base of your business? Do you have a niche selected?
No, it's from scratch. I don't have an agency. I don't know how to start an agency. In my previous jobs, I did some sales jobs, so I know how to call clients cold a little bit.
Yeah.
And for niche, I'm not sure. But, the only knowledge I have is like doing ad campaigns.
Okay. So how long has this been an idea for you as far as wanting to start an agency?
Overview.
The first idea came in like 2019, but I didn't do anything with it. But the actual idea came like a year ago when I started dropshipping. like literally just started drop shipping,
Okay.
but I had to have a plan B. So with the course I got, there was lots of tutorials and knowledge about making ads and campaigns and social media marketing.
Yeah.
So I thought, in the worst case scenario, if this shit doesn't work out for me, I have to have a plan B, and there was an agency. And
Okay.
since then, I had it in the back of my mind.
So are you still?
Mini hint of what he just said. He said he just bought a program before in the past, right? A lot of you guys for sales reps, most people now, buyers are getting much more smart, right? Meaning the internet space isn't brand new anymore. So whether you're selling a B2B lead gen package or an info product, a coaching product to B2C customers, most people have bought in something in the past. And you don't want to be the sales rep that shies away from that because you're afraid to talk about if they had a good or bad experience. The last thing you want is to get to the end of the call, you're trying to close them and they say, hey, Alex, sounds great, but listen, I've bought in something in the past that was similar. This one's much more expensive. I need to think about it. Could you send me examples? Could you send me more testimonials and so forth, right? So the way that you get around that is by actually talking about the thing that they bought. Did they see results? What was their experience? If they didn't see results, hey, just so I know, like what would have made the product better that would have brought in you more results for X thing, right? That way they could then talk about actually what I'm looking for is XYZ. And then you could say, beautiful, sounds good. Make a mental note. And then when you pitch, you focus on XYZ, right? Let's say they're looking for someone to hold their hand while they're running advertisements and your product produces that. And the past product they bought didn't. You can now, when you pitch, say, hey, remember how you want someone to hold your hand while you run ads? This is exactly what we're gonna do, XYZ. So if that makes sense, hopefully.
Doing e-commerce now?
Yeah.
You are? Okay. So what makes you want to now pivot and look into starting an agency?
Maybe you know it, with drop shipping, the profit margins aren't that good.
Okay.
There's a question, right? It's as simple as that. I heard he was doing e-commerce, made a mental note. When I got to Discovery, he was like, hey man, I know you're doing e-commerce. What the hell wants you to go start an agency, right? And get him to sell himself on that path. What I want to hear is it's going horribly. I hate the business model. I see much more potential with this. Awesome, right? You just squashed that bug. So another thing I'll say, I feel like I'm being a little bit too laid back with this call. Like I should be way more sharp and hard hitting with my questions. Let's keep watching.
And for like and I don't enjoy it that much because maybe it earns okay, but like the what I don't feel like I'm giving quality to my customers, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's all AliExpress or other products. So I really want to give my clients or my customers a big smile so that they won't regret accepting my offering.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense, bro. I get that too, especially if you're using AliExpress. At the end of the day, they're getting little trinkets getting shipped from China and so forth. So I get what you mean on that. Is that like your full-time gig, drop shipping, or is it something you're just doing on the side?
No, I'm doing it on the side. I'm a chauffeur.
That statement that I gave right there, I shouldn't have given that. And I'll tell you why. Like the less statements, the more questions you could ask is always best. What I should have done is summarized and labeled him, right? So instead of like agreeing with him, like, yeah, drop shipping sucks, e-commerce sucks, I should have said, that makes sense. So what you're saying is that you've been doing e-commerce, but you feel like you're kind of not providing real value for your customers versus with the agency, you will, and you'll feel more fulfilled. Is that correct? Yes, 100%. That's correct. Awesome. Cool. E-commerce, by the way, are you doing this full time? Right. So that should have been my correction with that.
Sure. Here in Amsterdam, and that's like my main job.
Okay. Okay. So you're a chauffeur. So with the drop shipping, I mean, do you see good results with that? Are you making money from the business?
Like I seriously started like 3 months ago with starting with the ads, and I got okay results. Still, I know I'm not at my full potential with the drop shipping.
Yeah.
Um, but it's definitely more than I thought I would earn at
Okay.
first.
Okay.
The reason I'm still an overview, you guys, the reason why I haven't pulled this to future state goals right away is because I recognize something. It's called a leverage point. Okay, and as a sales rep, even for yourself, it's really important that you master recognizing leverage points. Let's say this. What is a leverage point? A leverage point is an important point of the conversation that you realize on the prospect that will make him buy at the end of the call. Right. And so the leverage point I recognize with Ali is number one, he's doing a separate business model right now. That is a leverage point that I need to talk about. That way he could tell me why he's switching over to an agency. But number two is that he's bought in a program in the past. And so focusing on those two leverage points, getting him to sell himself down agency, but also getting him to tell me how his experience with the past program he bought and what is he looking for with this one is what will get him to buy and see that we're different and that this is the right decision for him. So you're about to see how I do that now.
Just out of curiosity, bro, about how much are you making a month through drop shipping?
With
Like
drop shipping,
profit, I guess.
profit.
Yeah.
I think 1.5K to 2Ks.
Okay. Okay, makes sense. And so
Damn, that's it? Didn't even survive off that, right? Is what I should have said. We'll see what I say. But essentially, the reason why I'd say that is to get him to backpedal and be like, yeah, it's not going well. That's why I'm looking to start an agency. Okay, makes sense.
did you ever, for drop shipping, I mean, is that something you taught yourself or did you like get a program or coaching
No,
to
I got
help
a
you out?
program.
You
Yeah,
did. Okay.
I got it. Yeah.
Did it help at all?
I have to say, it is one of the more good quality courses here in from the coaches that teaches that in Holland.
Okay.
The course was great. It was a big course with lots of tutorials and had also one-on-one coaching.
Okay.
But maybe it was a little bit outdated.
Yeah.
But like I know that currently dropshippers work with agents. They didn't teach that. So I had to find that out for myself.
Yeah.
But if I have to be honest, it was a good program.
Okay. So it was worth it in your eyes. Because I
Yeah.
know a lot of people, it's like sometimes they'll start drop shipping and
My follow-up shouldn't have been a statement. It should have been, that makes sense. Well, listen, I know you're doing 1.5, 2K. Ideally, I'm sure you want to make more. What could that program, what could they have provided to you that would have made the path more successful and help you get to 10K a month, right? Essentially what I mentioned earlier. Well, I'm looking for XYZ. Got it. That makes sense. Now I made a mental note and I'll pitch them by using their own language at the end of the call and show them that we provide what other people don't, right? Which I didn't do with this. Another thing too, you guys, is like, you know what questions to ask. Even when he said 1.5 to 2K, I knew that wasn't shit. I should have challenged that right away, but I probably felt uncomfortable. Listen to your intuition as a sales rep. You know what questions to ask. A big thing I focus on is learning to transition to scriptless selling as a sales rep. And in order to do that, you have to trust your intuition. You have to be a good listener and understand where you're going to take the conversation. That way you could ask questions off the top of your head.
you know, they'll buy a program and it's like super
I got-
shitty and
I got literally a friend of mine who bought a course. It was for like 1K,
yeah.
and it was. I told him not to go with that coach because mine was a little bit more expensive, but I was sure that I got more quality out of it.
Yeah.
And eventually he regretted it buying that because he didn't learn anything.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you do have to be careful, at least with buying online programs. But I mean, bro, what makes you want to? I mean, why not double down with drop shipping and just continue going that direction? Why start the agency?
Right, so I hit it again because I know that's a leverage point. I need him to express why he is so confident on wanting to pivot business models. So hey, why not just continue with e-commerce and double down with that? Why pivot to an agency? So now what you are about to see is how I transition into future state right after this question. Intro overview is done. I'm about to transition into future state and watch how I do.
Like I said, it's not that I don't like hard working. I work a lot and I work hard.
Yeah.
But I know with the same amount of hours and effort I put in, I could earn more. That's
Okay.
that's one thing. And like I said, the profit margins are not that good with drop shipping, so you have to not double it down or maybe triple it down
Yeah.
to get nice profit. And like I said, from like a moral standpoint, it's not something that I really like inside doing for my customers.
Okay. Understood. So it's more like you like the business.
This just popped in my head too. So if you remember earlier, I was talking about squashing bugs and squashing ghosts. I always like to refer like this sales call to a B2B sales call as well, because it's really the same thing, right? There's minor differences, but with squashing bugs, his bug I need to squash is why is he looking to pivot over to starting an agency? For business owners, it could be something different. Let's say you are selling a lead gen package that's going to help someone generate more leads through paid advertising. And you ask them, hey, what was motivation for booking the call? And they say, well, I'm doing cold email, I'm doing cold calling, but I want to add paid ads into the mix. Okay, so the last thing you want to happen at the end of the call is to get to the end, you're trying to close a deal, and they say, hey, listen, this is expensive. Let me stick with, what I'm doing now for cold outreach and cold email, see if I could get this generating me some more money, and then I'll come back and jump in with paid ads. That is why you need to squash bugs. It's the same thing in this situation as it is for a B2B conversation as well.
Model, and you feel like you could make more from an agency.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Makes sense. Well, bro, whenever I speak with people, especially people who,
This is how I transition into future state with this call.
they've tried quite a few online businesses in the past and they're looking to start an agency. From what I've seen, it's usually one of three types of freedoms that they're looking for as to why they're starting the business or why they continue starting online businesses. Usually the first thing is like some type of financial freedom, as in like, hey, I have a decent job or I've tried different things, but I'd like to be able to make more money at the end of the day. Second thing is usually time freedom. Third thing is location freedom. I know everyone wants all three in a perfect world, right? But if you did have to narrow it down here, bro, like which would you say is the main focus for you out of those three?
Too friendly. I need to deliver that way harder. But that was called the three freedoms question. Shout out Paul Daly if you're watching this, man. Paul Daly helped me slap that together. So three freedoms question. Same thing as me asking, hey, what's your goal with starting an agency? Or what's your goal with building out your business? What I realized on this offer was that a lot of people didn't know what their goals were. And so instead of just asking such an open-ended question, I did the three freedoms question, right? Which is, hey, listen, most people who start an agency, it's one of three types of freedoms that they're looking for, from my experience. It's either financial freedom, location freedom, or time freedom. Out of those three, I know everybody wants all three, but what's most important to you? And they say, well, financial freedom. Then you could follow up with like, awesome, well, what does that mean to you? Well, I would love to have the money to buy whatever I want. I would really like to be able to help my mom out and pay her rent, but also get this new house and move to Miami. Awesome, hell yeah, I love that, good vision. With that, I mean, how much do you need to make to be financially free and accomplish those things? And now we're taking him down the path of helping him uncover goals that he may not even recognize he has. Well, I need to make $30,000 a month. Got it, okay. And what are you doing for work, by the way? I'm a chauffeur. You mind if I ask you a question? Yes, no. If you stayed on your same path as a chauffeur, would you ever get to the point of making $30,000 a month and being financially free? No. That is how you ask hard questions and challenge prospects and make them realize that they need to make a change and commit to something new for themselves. It's the same thing with B2B. You mind if I ask you something? You've been trying cold email and cold calling for the past 2 years and you still haven't broke past 100K a month, which you just told me that was your goal. Do you think you'll ever get to 100K a month if you just continue down that path? No. So what do you need to do? Well, I need to get into paid ads. Awesome. So what are you looking for from our team? That way this is a successful direction that you take, right? So food for thought.
I like to travel the world, and in the past I worked also a couple of jobs. It was like office jobs, and I knew for myself that I wouldn't be happy if I would be like in an office every day or driving to my work.
Yeah.
And since I know that there are opportunities to work just from your laptop from anywhere, just if you have a little bit internet and battery life, you could also do your work.
Yeah.
So that's a main reason.
Another thing, really quick, this guy talks a little bit slow, takes him some time to formulate his thoughts. Notice how I give him space. I'm comfortable with silence, right? I'm not trying to cut him off. I'm not firing in my next question right away. I'm letting him think and give deeper answers. That's how you get people to give those deep answers that you're looking for. You know, analyze your call and see if you cut people off or if you give them room to speak. You know, a lot of times what happens if you cut someone off, and as sales reps, the reason why we do it is because one, we always have our next question fired up in our back pocket. But number two, there's a lot of sales reps who are uncomfortable with silence. And so we ask, what is your goal? They say 10K per month. They're thinking more. And then you follow up, okay, well, why? Instead of just giving them room to breathe, right? Prospects are more uncomfortable with silence than you are as a salesperson. So if you sit in silence for an extra second or two, they will replace that silence by justifying what they just said. 10K a month. Huh. Yeah, 10K a month because, you know, I'm trying to do X, Y, Z, and this is my big vision and so forth, right? And a lot of times if you cut people off, they just start giving you shorter answers and not going deep and putting thought into your questions. So there's two reasons why you do it: to get all the information and not have to work so hard, ask less questions. But number two is so that you don't piss somebody off. And then next thing you know, they're just giving you one-worded answers for every single question you ask.
For me, I would like to do my thing wherever I want.
Yeah. Well, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What were you gonna say?
Oh yeah, in combination with like traveling.
Okay, got it. The job you're working now, bro, the chauffeur job, does that tie you down to one location? Like, are you basically stuck in Amsterdam working?
No, not Amsterdam.
That was a passive way of me asking, will you ever have location freedom if you continue being a chauffeur? That's what I should have asked. And I should have asked it much more straightforward. Instead, I asked like a beat around the bush question. Are you tied down to one location as a chauffeur? Of course he is. You gotta hit people. Closers ask hard questions. I used to have a sticky note on my computer that was sitting right here that said closers ask hard questions. That way, whenever I was on a sales call, I could always glance down and remember, ask that hard question. Ask what's coming to mind.
Only so it's airport airport rides, but focused on businessmen, and they are from everywhere here in Holland.
Okay.
I do feel like this job is mentally tying me down in one place.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have to be always in my car and always drive to the airport, and yeah, that's the thing that I don't like.
Yeah. Do you enjoy the job you're working at all? Or is it like, hey, if I could get out of this, I would?
Of course he doesn't enjoy it. I should have asked something different with that. Listen, man, a lot of people don't enjoy what they're doing, you know, and not many people are willing to take the risk to walk down the path that will get them to where they want to go. And if you want location freedom, I love that. I know you could tell you're not getting it in your job right now. What do you need to do to accomplish that location freedom and be able to travel and visit your family again, right? You need to coach them to make a decision. You need to lead them. The best salespeople are leaders, right? That's why I like sales so much. I really do think it's a game of self-improvement as a human being. The more dialed that you become outside of sales, with staying true to yourself, keeping true to your own word, you know, the better you become on sales calls, the better you become at leading people to make a decision and buy from you. The best sales reps I know in the world are also very, very dialed human beings outside of sales. And there's a reason why there's that correlation. So if maybe you're having trouble on a calls, think about it. Are you aligned with yourself outside of sales? Are you not keeping true to your own word? And it's making you come onto calls, not be your best self, not be confident, and not be able to guide people to make a decision. So we are at a decent length for this call. I think what I'm gonna do, I said there was a bunch of objections on this call. I haven't seen this in a while. Let's go to those objections. Let's walk through that framework. If you guys want to see me do a video of a full discovery breakdown, how to have a perfect discovery section of your call, comment below. Reason being is if you get an objection, 99% of the time it's because you didn't do well enough in discovery. Discovery is the most important section of your sales call. Asking good questions to pinpoint where someone wants to go, where they're at currently, and what's stopping them from getting there. So let's jump to the end. All right, now here is closing, section number 6.
Skills, and then even how to hire those contractors as well. So
Sounds good.
cool. What questions do you have from that, bro?
I don't.
Cool.
For
No
now, I
questions at all.
No, for now I don't.
Okay, well, is the path clear for you as far?
All right, so let's touch on this. Let's pull this back up, you guys. Now, I didn't show you the pitch, right? I could talk about a video on how to pitch as well. But I've talked about this in 5 things I learned selling for Iman, something like that. It's on my YouTube page where I talk about pitching in the PFS framework. Problem, feature, solution. This is why it's important to have a good discovery side of your call. That way you could pitch using the PFS framework. Hey, you told me your problem is XYZ. Our solution is ABC, and what that's going to do for you is XYZ, right? Your problem is this, our solution is this, our feature is this of our product, and then our solution. What the solution will be for you is XYZ, right? So hopefully that makes sense. PFS, I could touch on it more in a video. I talk about it so much in sales group. But with that, now I'm getting into closing. Now, I'm going to say this. Step 1, as soon as you pitch your product, is to exhaust all questions. So as soon as I'm done pitching, what I'll say is, that is about it for me. Do you have any questions for that, right? I want to get to the point where they literally tell me, yeah, I don't have any other questions. That way I could pitch the price or drop the price and close the deal. You know, so with him, if he had a million questions, I'd say, awesome, I'm all done with pitching, essentially, right? What are your questions from that? Well, what does this look like? Yeah, so what this looks like is XYZ. Does that make sense? Yes. Beautiful. What other questions do you have? I don't think I have any other questions. Okay, cool. So no other questions? Nope, not at all. Awesome. Then we move to alignment. This is super important, right? Before you drop the price, you need to get alignment. You need to remind the prospect that the reason why they're going to buy is because it's not because this product sounds cool. It's because they feel that they are aligned with how this product is going to help them reach their goals and solve their problems. So you need to make sure they're aligned. Meaning, awesome, I'm glad you don't have any other questions. Let me ask you this. How do you feel on this getting you to XYZ goal that you told me that you have? I'm actually super confident, man. I love everything that you touched on today. Cool. Why? Well, I like A, I like B, I like C, I like what's included, and so forth. Awesome. Hell yeah. That's most important, is making sure that you feel like this is going to solve that problem for you and help you reach that goal. But let's do this. So for everything included, it'll be 6 months, ABC, and it'll be $6,000. Then you price drop, right? And from there, I never ask, are you ready to get started? Are you ready to buy? I assume the close. I drop the price, I stay in silence, and I say, cool. If they say nothing, I say, next steps are simple. Let's get you logged in. Let's get you ready to rock, right? They will either roll with me and buy, or they'll toss out objections when I assume the close. Well, actually, hold up. I think this is something that I need to think about. Then you could handle those objections really quick, then get back into the close, right? So these are the steps for closing. Exact steps you want to take: questions, exhaust, get alignment, price drop, assume the close. Okay, and the big thing with this, the most important piece that most people don't do, is they go too fast in the close. They have a great call. Then they get to closing. As a sales rep, you feel like the sale is coming, right? And you start getting a little jumpy and, you know, speed run through things and ask for their credit card. And next thing you know, the prospect's like, whoa, this is going a little fast. Let me think about it, right? You want to be able to go through closing nonchalant, right? What do people say? Nonchalant redhead. Like, you don't give a shit. What's more important is, awesome, man, that's it for me. You have any questions? Nope, cool. What are your thoughts? Do you feel like this will help you get to XYZ goal? Yeah, 100%. Awesome. Why? Well, I really like everything you guys are doing. Beautiful. Let's do it. I'm super excited for you, man. You are going to crush it. Let's do this. For everything that we touched on, it is lifetime access. We are going to be giving you X, Y, Z. We're going to make sure that you get to that 10K a month goal. All it'll be is an investment of $6,000. Silence. Awesome. Let's get it started. Let's do it. And then assume the close, move into taking payment. That is how you do it. Okay, so you know, some people have different kind of steps for this, but the big thing is keeping pace when you're closing. Keep pace, right? You do such a good job in the entire call, and then you get to closing and you get antsy and you lose the sale in the last 5 minutes of the call?
I don't.
Cool.
For
No
now, I
questions at all.
don't. No, for now I don't.
Okay, well, is the path clear for you as far as like what we provide to help you get to that 10K per month?
Yeah. Oh, sure. Sorry. One question. If I get the one-on-one coaching, you said it was like for 1 year, but
Mhm.
how many calls do I get with my coach?
So your coach, technically over Zoom, you guys will be meeting about once a month, right? But it is the coach's job to be checking in with you, bro. So you will have their phone number, you'll have all their contact info. That way, if you have questions throughout the day, you could just ask your coach.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Cool.
Yeah, sounds clear.
Cool.
What else did any other questions pop up?
Again, right? He said no questions. I tried to get alignment. He came up with questions. And so I hit it again. Let's exhaust it. Any other questions pop up? No. What I should do after this is get alignment.
No, for now, I don't have any questions.
Okay. Well, for you, I think what I asked is everything clear for you as far as how we get you to that 10K per month?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's wrong. It's not about it being clear. It's not about the path being clear. It's how do you feel on this getting you to 10K per month? That's how I should have asked it, right? It doesn't matter, like, some people, they think they're getting alignment by saying, does everything make sense with how we get you to XYZ goal? It doesn't matter if it makes sense. It matters if they feel like this is the right thing for them. So you need to be direct with alignment. Do you feel like this will get you to XYZ goal that you told me you had?
Well, if you were to scale it, right? Let's scale it 1 to 10. Kind of like a selfish question on my end. 1 being, bro, get me the hell off this call. I don't want to talk to you anymore. 10 being, this is like the perfect thing that'll help me grow your agency. What would you say?
I would say 1.
You'd say 1.
No. I'm joking.
It's the shirt. It's the shirt.
It's the shirt,
It's like, I
yeah.
knew I shouldn't wear this shirt. You're cool.
I would give a strong 8.
A strong 8. Okay. And so an 8, what would make it from an 8 to a 10 for yourself?
I think more detailed about the thing is why I don't give you a 10. I still got a couple of questions. That was the thing.
Yeah.
So a little bit more detailed, I would give it a 10. But for the
Okay.
rest, your energy is good. One thing I also like is I got on calls on more coaches, and they all sound very boring, unexcited, or not even laughing. So that's nice.
And I sound enthusiastic as hell. I want to be there. I'm locked in, sharp as a tack, expert in my field.
There you go. Well, cool, bro. Well, if you have some more questions, I mean, let's just tackle those, whatever's top of mind for you.
Yeah, it's hard for me to now make up questions. For now, I really don't have any questions.
Okay.
It's also a thing because I did my homework before this call, so I know lots of things about the program.
You watched the pre-call preparation video, right? It sold him into, he understands a lot, he has a visual representation, he's ready to do this.
So that's not on you.
Okay. Well, cool, man. Well, I mean, what are your thoughts? Is this something you're ready to get started with?
Yeah, I'm ready to start.
All
Building up.
right. Cool, bro. Well, just so you know, next steps, I just need to help you get your account set up, and then I'll also get you scheduled with your coach. Takes like 5 minutes.
Okay.
Cool, man.
Cool.
So let's do this. Have you registered on Grow Your Agency?
Pretty sure I got objections, it's long in the end. So one thing I'll say is pace. I kept really good pace with that post close. I took my time, right? I got alignment multiple times. He told me I had questions. I didn't speed run into the credit card. I followed up with, did that answer your question? Yes, cool. What other questions, right? One question I asked to get alignment was the 1 through 10 question, which I feel like I'm saying that a lot right now. 1 through 10, right? If you were to scale this between 1 to a 10, 1 being, Alex, I hate your glasses, give me the hell off this call. 10 being, this is the perfect thing that will get you to XYZ goal. Where would you rank yourself, right? The reason why you ask that is to, number 1, get alignment, but also pre-handle objections. Let's say he says it's a 7. Okay, let me ask you this. What would make it from a 7 to a 9? Well, actually, what would make it from a 7 to a 9 is like having more coaching calls. Oh, actually, let me re-break that down. You get XYZ. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, how are you feeling now? Yeah, that makes it more like a 9 or a 10. Cool, then you get to the close, right? If I didn't do that, there's a chance that that missing piece of clarity that made it a 7 for him was going to be an objection that stopped the close. You want to exhaust everything to the point where you drop the price and it's either fuck yes or fuck no. One thing I will say too, I don't really like the 1 through 10 question anymore. Too many people used it. It raises red flags. But now I just ask very simply, alignment. How do you feel on this getting you to XYZ goal? They tell me why. And then they tell me yes or no, and then I follow up with why. So that way they sell themselves on why this will get into XYZ goal. Last piece, I didn't drop the price. I think it was because Iman went through a period of time where he shared the price in the pre-call video. And so I didn't need to drop the price, I believe. It was 2 years ago. But if I were to drop the price, what I would do is value stack the shit out of the price. Awesome. So for what we touched on, it's a year for XYZ that we're including and helping you get to XYZ goal and that big rainbow. It'll be $6,000. Then sit in silence and have them be like, okay, cool, let's do it. Next steps are simple. Let's get you logged in. We'll get you ready to rock. Is that cool? Boom. Take them to the close. Right, so I wish you guys saw the price drop. I have more close calls where I price drop. I have more on YouTube that you could watch where I price drop.
Oh, just use this last link in the chat right here. That is the checkout cart. Then as soon as you pop through that, everything will unlock and I will get you set with your coach.
Kijk nou. Wel genoeg te doen op mijn rek heb. Do I have to pay now immediately? Because I don't have enough of this card, so then I have to deposit.
Okay. Yeah, brother. That should be cool. Only thing is I do want to make sure you get the coaching included. I mean, how about this? How much do you have set to the side, at least on the card you currently have?
1K.
1K. Okay. What we could do, we could get you started with that, and then once you deposit it, you could just pop in and pay the remaining later.
Actually don't remember what the damn objections were in this call. That's logistics, right? So logistics meaning he wants to do this. He just needs to start at a different day because he didn't have enough money on his card. So he had to deposit cash, right? So the option that I gave him was, hey, how much do you have? Awesome, let's put that down and you could pay the remaining on Monday or on Tuesday, right? I think I got more objections. We'll see right now. But also with that, I did one thing wrong, which is I sent him the checkout cart rather than asking him for his card information. That's super important. I'd say it's pretty important because when you send them a checkout link, it becomes much more real for a prospect, and there's a higher chance that they just exit out of the call and peace the fuck out, right? So whenever you're gonna close someone, open the checkout cart on your side and ask them for their card information and type the card information for them and then click pay. It's a biggie. So I should have done that. I didn't. I sent him the checkout cart. I'm lucky he didn't leave. Let's see if more objections came up.
Later.
Kijk. Yeah, okay, sure.
That's cool. Okay, we'll just do that, bro. And then just let me know, like, as long as you text me by like Monday or Tuesday, you could just pay the remaining then. I don't have an issue with that. So
that was it. I thought I had more objections. I apologize, guys. This was labeled as an objection handling call in my files. I guess I didn't have many. Well, one thing I will say is once you get really good at closing, the best closers, they don't get objections, they get questions and logistics, right? So that's all I got with him was just logistics. And yeah, that was a super solid call. At the free training, I'm going to give you guys a training that my sales mentor gave me a few years back that helped me so much. with objection handling, improving my close rate, becoming a better sales rep. I'm also going to include a ton of other resources as well for everybody that talks about landing top 1% sales roles, how to master discovery, how to have a proper sales call, and so forth. All this stuff is going to help you a ton. If you check it out, I guarantee you will close more deals, you will make more money, just like tons of people that I work with have using the same training. No paywall, it's completely free, you guys. Just click the link below. Hopefully this was helpful. Once you learn to sell, you will never starve. Thanks.